Hey everybody, um, just a little informative video. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the game web fishing. It's essentially it's been described as the world's greatest chat room, something like that. But if you're a Steam Deck owner, you might have noticed that web fishing is not supported on Steam Deck, but there is a community created controller layout that works pretty well, and yeah, it's super easy to find it. I'm not even gonna get into that part of it, but what I am gonna do is just demonstrate to you that it does in fact work. So let's just boot it up real quick. It does take a minute to load. It does run surprisingly well. It's the controls are a little bit hard to get used to, and there's a little bit of a learning curve for it. I think the hardest part for me was figuring out how to zoom in and out, which on this layout, zooming in and out, you want to click this stick in, and then to zoom in, I believe it's right trigger, and then out is left trigger, which anytime you zoom out with the left trigger on this layout, it will, it's set to, they have the left triggers set to screenshot, which is actually kind of cool. I don't mind that part. But yeah, as you can see, it's, running already. You move the mouse, your cursor around with the stick here, which it is a little sensitive. It's hard, but you can also use the touch screen still. So yeah, we'll just start a new server real quick. And yeah, once you kind of understand how the controls are working, like the camera pan, that movement can be a little bit sensitive. You have to move. You can barely see my thumb moving, but you have to be very careful with it, because it will just go crazy. But so yeah, the controls are not too complicated. I think it's just a matter of getting used to it. It took me a couple hours of playing. But yeah, that's your walk around. I'll show you the zoom real quick. So you click in this right stick, and then yeah, the right trigger will zoom you out. Left trigger will screenshot and zoom in. That was the hardest part for me to figure out. You have these little, I forget what these buttons on the bottom are, but, and then, yeah, that will control your running and the meowing. The other sort of tricky part to figure out for this controller setup was the chat. So you hit Y, or it's Y on my controller, and then sometimes it will automatically just have the cursor there. You see how it's like the little line is not flashing, but you can also so yeah, if it's not, you just press Y again once the chat box opens up. And then to chat, you hold down Y. But you have to have your cursor in the right place. So click in the chat box, and then should be hold Y to open the keyboard. But a little bit of a complicated thing sometimes is that pressing literally any of the other buttons will pretty much they're all assigned to a letter on the keyboard. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that. We will just see if we can make it work in a different lobby. I don't know. And yeah, it does actually do pretty well with, like, you know, playing on you know, online. I haven't really had too bad of, like, lagging issues. Usually it seems like it's because of somebody else, or if it's like too huge of a lobby or something. I'm not exactly sure all the factors that play into that, but occasionally you will get some lagging and ping issues, but overall it really has not been a bad experience. The game, you know, is really fun. I even with the weird controller setup, it's still, like, very obvious as to why people are enjoying this game a lot. But yeah, my main purpose for this video is to just anybody that's interested in playing that only has a Steam Deck right now, you can still play it. It's just the controls are a little wonky. You can plug in your controller, your PlayStation, Xbox, Steam controller, whatever, and I think that probably does help. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, I don't know what's taking so long. Usually doesn't really take that long. It could just be a connection issue. But maybe that'll be another video. I'll just demonstrate the chat function in another one. Yeah, so there you have it. If you want to play fishing on Steam Deck, there is a way to do it. Even though it says not supported, it is still doable. Well, there we go.